Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to IRC Regions Cup Season 5, or in other words, we can say Racing Ka IPL, as one of our beloved members said. So today we are at Nords Lifa for 1 hour race, which will have a 30-minute qualifying. And Nords Lifa, I guess most of you will be aware about this track and how difficult or technical this track can be. For this, I am joined by my co-commentator FIFA Kanak and Kapil Bharat. So, guys, I mean, before we start, I need your opinion. What do you expect from this event today? It's definitely going to be chaos, and all the regions will be trying to, survive for that 1 hour and make sure they do not get involved in any later incidents because this track is definitely something that can bring out something that a driver won't expect.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a really difficult track to drive on. It's never really you're not fighting with other drivers. You're just fighting with the track, staying alive, and hoping you could finish the race without any major incidents. So, yeah, looking forward to the race and how many people actually survive without having a major incident.
Yep, and I guess it's time to jump to the track video and see what this track. Yeah, and I'm sorry on that. It's not the track video, but it's the car liveries that each team has, and let's see what each team has designed. So yeah, let's jump onto that and see what we have. Yeah, and we have first livery here. I need to confirm which region it is. Uh, and this is a West region livery. This golden looking car on this BMW, followed by a green McLaren for the East. This livery is definitely something to watch out for. It's looking amazing with that glossy finish. What do you say about that, Kanak?
Yeah, the green glossy reminds of the Aston Martin, but yeah,
Followed by
really.
we have the Merc for the North, and yeah, this has a quite good contrast of colors with that blue, the black and the gray. I think it's kind of a bit more on the how do I put it? I'm not able to find that word, but yeah, that was looking really, really amazing for that. Followed by that, we have the livery for the Northeast on this beautiful looking, I'm sorry, not Northeast, Southeast, on that beautiful looking McLaren. And other metallic finish like we had for the East region. So, yep, it seems like it's close. And followed by that, we have a very, very special livery for Southwest. As we can see, the stickers on the car and the names that we have on the bonnet of this car. It's definitely something that they went out of the box for this car to present for the viewers. And yeah, that's all what the teams had to offer for this particular event. And I guess now it's time to jump for the on track action and see what's happening. So yeah, Kanak, what do you think? We have 18 drivers, 30 minutes for qualifying. And what do you expect? Like any uh, things in your mind on who to expect for top three, or what do you say about that?
Yeah, I think the top three would definitely be Dipanshu, Motomoto, and Deepak Raj. Like those three will definitely take the top three because they're very experienced on this track. Motomoto, I think, is haven't done a long format races, but I've done two 24-hour races with Dipanshu and Deepak, and they are very very quick here.
Yeah, and we have another commentator joining us for this event, Real SD. So SD, can you hear
Yes, sir. You can call me by my real name. Thank you.
us? Yeah, we definitely had to put that prefix.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it's been a while since we had streamed ACC. This game has been constantly on the declines since LMU has entered the picture. But yeah, hopefully, as for our community's sake, we do give it a good send off. Not sure if we have further events, official events on this game, but hopefully, this 1 hour fiesta around the Nordschleifer circuit is going to give us the final chapter of ACC from our community. But let's look into this. I mean, we have, I think, 30 minutes of quali, 1 hour of race, probably 7 to 8 laps of hopefully continuous fun. But yeah, let's look towards a good 1.5 hours from now.
Yeah, and we are right now facing a few difficulties, I guess, while trying to see the on track action. So might need to wait a bit more to see what's happening on track. But so meanwhile, like we have a proper battle happening between the regions. So, and it's definitely, every team at this point is trying hard to gain maximum points. And the last event for IRC Regions Cup was definitely not something that every team wanted because of how many points they lost. So what do you think, SD, how the approach might change going forward for this event? Because they have to be a bit more careful about how they take the racing standards, because they do not want to lose those crucial points.
Yeah. I mean, it's been quite challenging, especially for the regions with less people. But I think since the dynamic of this Regions Cup that we typically follow is that a lot of naughty events that the drivers do or naughty incidents that happen, get penalized by championship points for their respective regions. So it becomes quite crucial or quite aggressive when you see a single driver or a group of drivers bring down the entire points tally for their region, and the region gets penalized more than the driver. So it's been quite a lot of incidents. I mean, more than 60 for the last couple of weeks. But yeah, it's looking quite close in the championship, even though we have had a lot of point deductions. I think let's just go through it. I'll just go through the championship order and let's discuss that until we are back up and running. So last out of the 5 regions is East with 165, closely, led by Southwest, who's at 170. So I would say the 2 regions which are represented the least are actually finding themselves at plumb last on the championship. We have Southeast, who are at 208 right now, as of still some penalties open, but they are quite a bit ahead, around 30 points ahead of Southwest. But the gap, the top 2 regions have, acquired themselves between the last 3 is quite far. Like North is 374, which is like around 150 points, 160 points ahead. So probably uncatchable given the points tally that we have for the last 3 races that are open. And West is 412, around 50 points ahead, 40 points ahead, but still catchable by North. So yeah, that's the quick review of the championship order. I think, especially given that we have an endurance event in ACC, we have a sprint weekend in LMU, and AC time attack to close, there are a good amount of points for the lead to change, while also the bottom 3 regions, battling amongst themselves to see who comes out last.
Yep. And the interesting part is, even though North is slightly behind, the within the top 5, there are 3 drivers from the North region as compared to West. So it seems like the West is a bit more on the, a bit more consistent side, I would say. But if we talk about a bit more quicker drivers, then I think North takes the lead there, and maybe going forward can use this opportunity to gain some extra points for the remaining events. Like time attack is definitely something that a very quick driver tends to gain a lot from. So yeah, it might help them.
Yep, definitely. I think let's switch our focus from the championship to today's event. Nordschleifer, I guess Kanak has quite a good amount of experience driving around this circuit. I assume ACC also is quite a good could sim for him. So, kind of, what do you think? How do you think the drivers would be handling themselves around the circuit? What are the areas that do you think are very crucial for them to take a note and are for viewers to have a keen eye on as well?
Yeah, yeah, it's a very difficult track for most drivers, and initially when you enter the Nords section, the entries it's like the first sector is very difficult. It's quite technical. It's a full free flowing corners, and you have to get each one of them right. And if you miss even one of them, the next and two three corners are all off sync. Yeah, but I would say the most difficult pass is the end of the lap. I like to call it the roller coaster section because you feel like you're going in roller coaster, going left, right, very, very high speed, third and fourth gear, just taking the corners at extremely high speed, and even one tiny mistake and you're in the wall. So yeah, I would say that would be the most difficult. And since it's the end of the lap, it's a very long lap. Most people are practicing will crash out somewhere before. So it ends up being the part of the track where you have the least practice as well. So let's see how many people make it
Yeah, we have
far
a
sector three.
absolutely correct. I think we have a running joke around. I mean, people inside IRC would know that there is a famous corner named after one of our most crucial members of the community called Deepak Corner. So let's see if drivers go around that without crashing, unlike Deepak had in one of the earlier races. So let's
Yeah.
see how that works out. Not sure if we still have the issues fixed, but anyway, I mean, it's going to be a long stream. They're going to be talking about a lot of stuff like the 24 hours of Lamont commentators typically do at night. So hopefully nothing about cocaine, but let's see.
So
That's one
is
way to put
heroin
it.
fine?
No, let's not, please. Yeah. Uh, okay. Let's switch the topic to which cars do you think are going to be good around here? Because I think the regions had a full, or every member had a full open book on any car they can choose from ACC. But which cars do you think are going to be good around here, Kanak and Tanish?
Yeah, I would say you see a large amount of drivers using the BMW, especially the newer drivers, and I think it's a very good choice because it's one of the most stable cars. It's a running joke. We call it the SUV of ACC because it literally does not care about bumps or curbs at all in Nord's layout, and it's very easy to drive with. But I think the top two cars will be the McLaren, driven by Deepak and Dipanshu because they have an insane amount of practice on that car, and if you get it right, that car is ridiculously quick here in ACC.
Um, I mean, I had the same cars in my mind, but I would say another car that can be close if someone is driving would be the Ferrari, because yeah, that is another car which is very very good on this game, and it's definitely very agile as well, not very difficult to handle. Response is very good on the front end, so yeah, I think that is one car that can definitely come into the picture if we have it on track.
So is it curtains for the other German manufacturers? What about Mercedes? What about Audi? Think that they will have a different difficult time? At least the drivers who are driving.
Yeah, I'm looking at the number of cars people have chosen. There's not even a single Audi or the Mercedes, so
Oh,
I
well,
think that
that says
that
it.
says
That
it.
says it. Yep, yep. How about the other cars? So, well, like you have access to the lobby. Unfortunately, we're still not able to bring you live pictures. But can you see and let us quickly know what are the cars that people have chosen, so that at least
Yeah,
when the stream is back, we have people with that context.
yeah, I think mainly it is the Beamers and the Ferrari that are dominating the field right now. And you have a sprinkle of other cars like the McLaren, the Porsche, and the Lambo. And
Hmm.
we have one guy who's driving the Aston, which is I'm surprised because the Aston is known to be one of the most stable cars. Uh,
By any chance,
BMW,
is that
yeah,
Araf Shakun or Oxygen?
no, no, no. I think
Okay,
Oxygen had too big of a skill issue to drive here, so I think he just backed out.
okay.
But yeah, I think it's someone else driving the Aston, which is very smart because it's a very boring car, so most people don't like to drive it. But when it comes to staying alive, boring is the way to go.
Great. What about the weather? If you're aware of how the weather conditions are going to be looking at? Is it going to be a plain, boring, vanilla, dry weekend, or do we see some variable weather around the race weekend?
Well, when it comes to weather, we don't have anything. But when it comes to the sky, it will be moving very fast, if I remember correctly. It will be moving, I think, 24 times faster than normal. So, yeah, we should see
So,
an entire day-night cycle in the 1 hour.
oh, that's great. That's great. Although it's going to make it look very weird for the viewers, unfortunately. I mean, 5 minutes is close to an entire day cycle. So let's see how that looks on track. But yeah, again, that's unfortunate, folks. We still are waiting for the lobby to work. I mean, the lobby is still going on, but if we're having issues with the streamer or the spectator join in to the lobby, so let's still wait for some time. I'm not sure if the quali is still ongoing. How much time do we have left, Kanak, if you're able to see?
Yeah, we have
in this
about 8
session.
minutes left right now.
Okay.
I think people will be starting their final.
Let's see. So yeah, let's see. Let's Tanish, what else to talk about? Championship, we have decided. Drivers, we have decided. I mean, I'm assuming most of the good drivers are going to be here, so we're going to see hopefully some close lap times around this huge track. And yeah, what else can we discuss before we move on to the actual live session?
Well, one thing that I'm thinking is that there are a couple of drivers who have not a good amount of good time on this particular track, and so the experience is less. I mean, they might be good drivers, but with this track, with the changing conditions, with the tires fading, I think it's gonna be tricky, in the ending stages, because you don't know which corner you might just lose the car. So that is something to look out for, because you cannot just push to the absolute limit on this track. The walls are very close, and one mistake, like was mentioned earlier, gonna remove your chances of getting those good points.
Yep. I mean, it's the survival. It's the basically the survival of the people who are not going to crash, because that's again for you to win, you have to finish, right? So it's very important that these guys try to have as less damage as possible. 7 to 8 laps, as I mentioned, the number looks quite small, but each and every lap asks so much focus, so much commitment from you that it looks like a 2 hours or 3 hour race, just that 8 laps in itself. So yeah, it's going to be very important that these drivers have, hopefully practiced how to take multiple laps around the circuit. If not, yeah, it's going to be very, very challenging for them even to complete one single lap around the green hell, as we call it.
I mean, a track with 170 corners is definitely something that is not gonna be easy for the drivers.
Mhm.
And with every type of corner present on this track, the drivers have to make sure that they are on the top of their focus, and not just going, uh how do I put it, like they have to keep that thing in mind. They cannot just rest apart from that final straight that leads to the actual Grand Prix section. They have to be on their toes. They have to make sure they do not mess up the line, because yeah, the line is very, very important on this track because of the grip that you need. And one mistake again, you are in the grass and might just hit the wall.
Yep. Thank you, Kanak, for giving us some live pictures, at least on our internal stream. But folks, on the stream, we'll get you some live pictures really, really soon. Apologies for that again. I think currently, if I just quickly run through, based on what we are able to see, it's lightning mucking from the East region, if I'm not wrong. Just again, please, Tanish, correct me. Trying my best to remember where these people are from in the respective regions. But yeah, we have lightning mucking in the Ferrari, who is P1. We have the Panshu, or Nomobo player, currently in the McLaren, leading or trailing lightning mucking in P2. We have Deepak Raj in P3. We have S Das in the Ferrari. That's my name. Okay. That's definitely someone else with the same initials as me, P4, but I'm really, really proud that he's P4. We have missed P5. We have Gunasekaran in Ferrari, who's P6. We have James Robin, Dark Knight, who's in P7. We have Dan Roche. You know who that is, Tanish? That's SSG Assassin, who's in P8. We have Mohammad Faizan in the BMW from the Southwest region in P9, and rounding out the top 10 in a whole Porsche. No, there are two Porsches. One of the Porsches is iHuck. It's a Q. So that's it. Top 10 as of now. Again, 3.5 minutes to go. 3.5 minutes to go. So let's see how that looks. Tanish, I mean, I'm not seeing some drivers in the top 10, right? So you have Moto, you have Atul Vashkar. I think there are a couple more who are your typical top 10 folks. Currently not in the top 10, so they might be looking to set a last lap time, last attempt.
Still on out that we know this first one yeah, still 3 minutes. Couple of drivers and we have to but yeah, I think one of the points is that we need lap on this lap because it's a long lap. There's lots to gain, a lot to do. So you have to really adjust that lap, not just till now, it's the Panshu that we are looking at from East region, currently sitting in P2, trying to get another lap. The middle section for the Nords line. Again, quite good number of corners left to go. Complete the lap. What's going to be for them. The lap is getting smooth right now. Yeah.
Yep, I think folks, we have a stream up and running. Sorry, just trying to check if that is all good. Couple, if possible, to turn off the racing line. I'm sorry, but it looks quite distracting for the viewers. So other than that, I think we're good. But yeah, thanks Kanak for streaming in the meantime. Another, what do you say? I think you might need to restart. I might to rejoin. I'm not sure if that is going to be feasible. Actually, no, it's done. It's done. Oh no, it's not done. Okay, you might need to rejoin. I don't know if we can probably check after quali. But yeah. All right, we're on board the Panshu. P2, 4/10 away. East region, I'd say. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, I think we did not check that before putting out the top 10. I think 54 seconds on the clock. I'm sure everyone has started their final lap. I'm not sure how much the overtime is. Hopefully that's set up properly. But if you do not set your lap time before the clock runs out after the checkered flag, the lap will not count. So currently the Panshu in the middle sector, going through the final sector. Sorry, in the final sector itself. Going through the roller coaster section that Kanak had mentioned, very flowing corners. Try to not hit the curb as high as possible because these curbs are quite high. Going through the YouTube corner now, very famous on YouTube. You should be able to see these many crashes, many close calls to that as is rounding out the end of the roller coaster section. And Tanish, this section is quite fast, right? You have the downhill section, your car jumps around here just about. Yes, he takes it really well, tries to keep it pinned, goes into the grass, but have lost some time. Not sure if he had pinned it flat, and like a set of chicanes or set of close quick corners you have to navigate before you head to the final the carousel, and then comes the long back straight before you go to the final corner.
very close front lifting off due to the elevation change. And like we have seen, Verstappen flying through a particular one in that last sector is definitely something that even drivers need to be very careful that do not mess up the line. Because the line there is needed. Slight here and there is gonna be
Yep. Not sure.
that long race. I believe 80 kilometers per hour.
Looks like it. He's on the dotted line, going on to the last corner very, very fast. Very, very important to pitch your car, place your car at the right places. Gets onto the curb as he closes down the final corner. Will this lap be any good? Not sure about the delta as he rounds out the final sector. Goes over the line. And that's P1, 8 minutes 19 seconds. But Lightning McQueen will have a rebuttal definitely waiting for us. He is currently, yes, in the middle sector. Not sure again if he's improving as we don't have a delta on screen. But yeah, let's see what lap time he sets. Moving down, I think we still have only 8 drivers setting a lap time. Mohammad Faizan just about having an incident as we navigate to his POV. But yeah, let's see what Lightning McQueen sets. Deepak Raj also a second behind, but I'm assuming that he also will have a good lap time available for challenging Dipanshu as we go on board James Robin going through the middle sector.
And Deepak Raj is also not that far. It's 1 second. Yeah, that's sitting at 3 right now. As last 8 seconds behind the last guy, ABD 28 was putting a lap and 2 seconds behind. So definitely he didn't get the perfect lap that he wanted. Not a lot of drivers on track. The qualifying is over. Final 7 seconds to complete the intended lap that the drivers are on. Can we? Okay, and that is close. That just hit. Deepak just went into the wall. Seems like pushed a bit too much.
Yeah, I would like to clarify that is the Deepak Cross.
Oh, that's
Hit into
Deepak
the wall.
Cross.
Well, again, been famous. Or let's say made very famous by Deepak himself. So, I mean, it's poetic that his car is the one that hits the corner as we speak. But yeah, we're on board. Lightning McQueen. That's 8 minutes 17.6, 1.5 seconds quicker than Dipanshu, and yeah, that's a very, very good lap time, I would say. I wouldn't say that's the outright quickest around the circuit, but still, I mean, given the grid that we have, it's quite good. So, who are we? Who is left to complete? We have Mist, who is yet to complete his lap. We have Faizan, who we did notice that had probably, I'm not sure if he validated his lap, but still is going to not set a very blistering time due to the error. We have ABD on track. We have Duke Sharma, Swagger Turbo. I have not going to be setting any lap time as they end the pits. Van Roche as well, not going to set any lap time. Surprisingly, Moto, Snehil, Moto and especially Banat won't even be setting a lap time as they end the pit. So yeah, not a good session from those drivers definitely. Atul Bhaskar still on track. So let's see what lap time he sets. We have Patil. The screen has gone really blurry, unfortunately for us. But yeah, we have Patil who's going to be setting a lap time, just about rounding out the. We're on board Miss, sorry. Just about rounding out the final corner. We are going to go over the line. Just about 5 more seconds, folks. And he sets a lap time of. Okay, let's say it's a 37 because it's 20 seconds off. So that pace delta or the difference between the top 5 or top 4 to Mist is very, very high.
Not the exit that he wants, and yeah, the lap is gone. complete the lap, even if it's like 10, 15 seconds slower, it will still get you a good gap of your
Yeah, Kanak, I mean, the pace difference is quite bad. I mean, it's expected that out of the 19 drivers, we have different skill groups in this region, so and single class, so definitely it's going to be a big pace difference. But yeah, did not expect Atul Moto currently to be struggling as much, but let's see how it looks. Atul going to be rounding out the final carousel. I mean, quite slow, to be honest with you. The middle speed was not that great as he goes through the couple of right-handers and onto the Nottingham straight. Very important to not lose any momentum. Try to get the throttle as early as possible to get this huge boost onto the straight. After let's say around 20-25 seconds, or maybe even more on the straight, you get to set yourself onto the final SS before we go to the last couple of corners. So it's going to be quite close. I mean, just looking at the sector times, I mean, the last sector is quite good for the Panshu, but then the other two sectors are blistering pace by Lightning Bucking. So let's see, let's go on board Atul. We're going right now on board his bonnet cam. Not that great of a chicane right there. I mean, the lines were completely missed, or apexes were missed as he rounds out, but he just needs a time within 10 seconds to Lightning Mucking, and he sets, Tanish, as you said, 15 seconds behind. So that'll be okay in terms of position, but then the pace definitely is lacking from Atul Basu.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. Like 30 minutes, it seems like was not enough for the drivers to get a decent lap in. So I'm not sure if it's the track experience or was it the time not enough to get a good lap, and many drivers end up aborting their lap. So yeah, I think one thing on this track is no matter the mistakes, if it's a valid lap, at least you need to get that one lap in for a good starting position. And yeah, it seems like the qualifying is over and we will be jumping on to the race. So, I think I can ask from both you and Kanak. So, what are your predictions for the race? How it's gonna be? You think it's gonna be chaos in this 1 hour with a lot of shuffling on the grid, or the leaders that we have right now will be just running away?
Yeah, I think the start of the race, especially the Nürburgring section and the Sector 1 of Nords Rifle layout, is going to be a good amount of fighting and crashing from a lot of drivers because the first lap the tires are slightly under pressure, and ACC, unlike LMU, requires you to have the correct pressure on all four tires to have the optimal grip. And I feel like the first half lap here is going to be very difficult for these drivers, and most people who are going to crash will have some kind of incident. So let's hope they keep it clean in those sections.
So, do we have the need for pitting in this race for the drivers until unless there is any damage, or the drivers will have enough fuel to complete the race without pitting?
Uh, I don't think there is a mandatory pit stop. It should be full tank and just a single stint around the knots layout.
That is, yeah, that reduces one part of the race. At least you do not have to worry about strategy a lot. But yeah, SD, what are your thoughts on this? Any differences compared to
I
what
mean,
Kanak said?
see, at this point, we are looking at a grid where people are 20-30 seconds off. So more than the tire pressures, it's about survival. So if they can get through the first set of corners without having any incidents, everyone is battling on their own. Ideally, no one is going to be racing amongst each other due to the sheer lack of pace that I would say. But yeah, as Kanak said, tire pressures are key, especially around this long circuit. You need to be set up in such a way that throughout the lap you are in the range of 26.5, 27.5 pressures. I mean, ideally in the 27. So it should be good. I mean, people top four definitely would be battling, I would say. It's a race of attrition, so you need to have people who are going to be crashing. Hopefully we're going to have some fun. Unfortunate thing is we're going to be having fun where people are crashing out. So it's a bittersweet moment. But at least from the racing standpoint, I hope that the top three drivers give us a good topsy-turvy race. Other than that, hopefully, let's see how many drivers come out after the 7 laps to finish the race.
Yeah, and right now we are still waiting for the stream to come up and so that we can see what's happening on track. As the drivers have already started their formation lap right now. Now we
And
have
we have green. Yes, count Tarish. Yes.
it's green, and the drivers are on for the race. The battle is already happening in front with at least a Panshu fighting like a king. When he takes the outside line,
Ooh.
gets a good run, and we already have a Southwest car spinning. Who was that? I think it was Atul.
Yep, Atul
Yeah,
got taken out from the back. Still again he has the opportunity to come back, so that's fine. But we have another Porsche sending it down the inside here. As we are just checking a better quality graphics for you folks. Just give it a moment as we have drivers sending it down the inside. Just give us a couple of minutes, folks.
And yeah, it's Lightning McQueen. Who is now sitting behind Dipanshu. Dipanshu has taken the lead, and he's running. I think not very much in front, but yeah, it's a good gap for him to breathe a bit before trying to close. And Deepak Raj sitting in P3, he will probably wait for that opportunity for Dipanshu to make a mistake, as Lightning McQueen is probably his teammate there, so he would not want to get involved in a battle with him.
Yeah, I mean, we have, I think the 2 and 3 are of the same region. So assume that Dipanshu is going to be running a 2-horse race here where he's going to be challenged. There's going to be 2 people battling from the same region compared to Dipanshu, who will not have any help. I'm not sure who is P5 as of now, as the standings have not yet updated, but there's a yellow flag at the back. Not sure who it is. It is Dan Roche spinning already and going to the back of the grid. No, not back of the grid. Swagger Turbo is in the pit, so it's definitely not at the back of the grid, as we have someone behind him who is still going to be racing, is getting white flag because he's the slow car. We have another crash happening. That's a huge crash in the middle sector. We have ABD spinning. Someone as Dan Roche just about squeezing his way through, just going over the curve and having a big tag slapper. As we are on board, Snehal behind Mr. Moto. I'm assuming that's Mr. Moto. Moto not having a good exit around the corner as we go towards Flutplatz, and Moto decides to give way. It's very un-Moto-like, but yeah, that's Snehal until top 60. How was it, James? Okay. But I still overall is still yet to update. So yeah, I mean, again, crashes here and there expected, but quite, I would say in overall it's been quite okay. We have missed the crashes, unfortunately. Never mind. As you see ahead, the 2 cars just wide, and that is Atul Bhaskar, and this is Moto. Is it? This is Moto, yes. Side by side going into the foxhole. Oh, Atul Bhaskar just about keeping it clean, and Moto decided to lift off, and they're going towards the compression into foxhole. Atul taking the curve as we have another driver crash out at the back. But yeah, that was the first bit of movement that we saw. We have Dipanshu still leading. Lightning McQueen P2. Deepak has dropped off to around 2 seconds, so that's a little worrying for Lightning McQueen. He was expected Deepak Raj to keep within the 1 or 2 second gap of Lightning McQueen. We have Dipanshu who is going to be hounded by Lightning McQueen as we go around the second half of this track.
Yeah, I mean, drivers are taking it very, very serious with the curve, because it is just going to take one mistake to end up in the wall there. I mean, we saw Dan Roche and Atul Bhaskar just jumping over those curves. I mean, for Atul, it's a very necessary because Moto was very, very close. But yeah, like I was
I thought the second Porsche tried to make a move on Mohammed Faizan. This is going to be really tricky, knowing Faizan's past here, but never mind. He is deciding to give the way. So again, we have seen drivers try to battle to finish the race for their region. So I guess that's what Faizan taking a sensible decision there, as we have another yellow flag behind with people crashing out. Very close between Snehil and Yuk Sharma. And Yuk Sharma tried to get a better exit, and Snehil, gets the worst out of the situation.
Right now, Koushik Tummala and almost going on the grass. That was a fast change, but developing some issues. Right now, we are looking at multiple drivers, and something that I have noticed is
Moto is in the pits. He might have crashed out. Yeah. So that's probably race over for him in terms of coming into the top 10. So yeah, that's really unfortunate. Really sad for North region. They were looking to close the gap to the west, but we have one contender from North, might possibly scoring no points for them.
Yeah, that's one driver out. I'm not sure if Moto is gonna decide to come out and drive again, because right now seeing the condition, if multiple drivers crash, there's still a lot of opportunity to get some points as it's a one-lap race, and a lot can happen like we discussed earlier. Right now we're still looking at slightly knocking, maintaining that around the second gap or 2-second gap to Dipanshu, not leaving him, giving Dipanshu on his toes, with Deepak just running behind him. Both these drivers will be, waiting for the right opportunity to make that move. And right now I'm only thinking if we can get some rain as well, maybe after a few minutes, and make
the weather doesn't look like it, Tanish. It doesn't look like it at all. It's bone dry, it's sunny. So as Kanak mentioned, I don't think there is any weather setup. But yeah, we're going to go through the day-night transition. So that's going to be interesting for these drivers. For people who have not seen the day-night transition ACC, it's very, very brutal. It's quite good. It looks wonderful. But again, it's quite brutal in terms of driving this track in the night, as we have Faizan. Is that Faizan? Yes, not sure. Yes, Faizan doing a best impression of lawn mowing across the grass. So very, very quick close call there, and I think Snail just about missed him.
Yeah, it was very, very close. I mean, it's just, right now, a lot of stuff happening already. There are different packs of the cars just involved in the battle of their own. Like we see two BMW battling right now, and it's, I guess, Yuk Sharma chased by James Robin at a Dark Knight. It's basically a battle between West versus North right now.
It was quite close. Dark Knight looks to be really, really much, much quicker compared to Yuk Sharma. But breaking down that place is not ideal, but okay, they go through the corner as they go through the long little right-hander who takes you to that. Yuk Sharma is fighting with the car, trying to keep ahead of the quick James Robin compared to him, of course. And as they go through to the back straight, the Dortinger straight, he's well within the slipstream, so the slipstream zone, so he should definitely be able to get a much better straight line speed if he gets a better exit than Yuk Sharma. Okay, he did, and this is going to be very difficult for the driver from the West region to keep it, from the North region to keep it, keep the car ahead than James Robin. But looks like James Robin has not opted for a quick straight line speed car, so it doesn't look like he's gaining as such. Let's see how it goes. Still half of the straight remaining, and it looks like James has opted out, and we have a yellow flag ahead. We see a white flag marker. That means there's a car slow going through the final couple of corners. I think by the time these two drivers reach there, they will be gone. As Faizan probably had an incident of his own again. Gets overtaken by Snehal. Oh no, never mind. These two were just close as well. So my team had have been Snehal who had an incident. As we go on board Faizan, braking very, very late, makes the corner quite easily and goes through turn 2, trying to set up a move on the Lambo driver from East, who has had his bonnet broken. As Faizan tries to send a dummy, tries to go around the outside, but doesn't have the overspeed.
Yeah, and it seems like majority of the drivers have completed their first lap on this track and maybe have gotten a good idea of the conditions that are present on this track and what grip the track has to offer. As you see, Faizan making a move down the inside, gets the move done on Snehal. It seems like Snehal was not able to get a good exit. It was a bit wide and just get the advantage of the camber on that corner. Faizan took the advantage and Snehal almost loses the car that goes onto the gravel, but it comes out rather vicious.
How does it look like up ahead? So we have IHAK P6, Atul Bhaskar P5. I don't know who this S-Das imposter is, but he's P4. We have Deepak Raj, Lightning Mucking, and Dipanshu still line astern going into the second lap. Dipanshu has opened up a 1.8 second gap around the same region on Lightning Mucking, so he has the pace over the driver from the southeast region, at least for now. So let's see how it looks like. Pace wise, I think these three are the only drivers hopefully who will be able to give us some fighting for the lead. The imposter P4, who is very far away, so 16.5. Atul Bhaskar might be just catching him before the end of the race. So let's see how the battle for P4 looks like. Snehal was making a good charge up the field, but looks like he had an incident of his own as we see him colliding with the rear of Faizan, and there we have him not beached, but stricken into the middle of the corner as Yuk Sharma just goes around the outside of Snehal, and yeah, that's curtains for his race. Not sure if he has suspension damage. He's doing some lawn mowing, try to take the corner, try to not be too much of a moving obstacle on track. Looks like yes, I had a very, 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 very big damage, so hopefully he should come back to the pits and at least have it repaired if it's not drivable. Looks like it's not drivable. Yeah, that's a sensible thing. Let's who is it? James Robin go. So that's Snehal up it down to P10 if I'm not wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that just ended very badly. The car, the front of that car was the evidence in itself on what happened to that car. But to add, SD for you, the guy in P4 is Sanjay Das, who is Neon and
Imposter for me. Thank
East
you.
Region.
He's from East Region. Okay, so I mean that is an imposter again, because I'm from East Region as well. So no worries, I'll have a chat with him later on. That name is mine.
Yeah. Right now the race is on. Atul has made his way back to P5. So yeah, good comeback from him. I mean, the guys up ahead is like quite a bit far. He's very close, almost second in the start. And Atul might be trying to make a move soon as the amount of time he's gaining on him. But it's still 46 minutes. I won't count out Atul from the top 3 for an SPC. Did he just let him by and he himself goes into the wall on the exit?
Yeah, very disappointed from East Region. But yeah, I mean, again, very lack of focus. You have driver literally on your tailgate. It's very difficult to, keep your focus, and we saw that Estas not having the best time of his life, keeping Atul Bhaskar behind. But again, you have to fight another day until unless you're not TNF'd, or you're not, in a position where you are not able to drive, you still have chance to finish ahead of the other drivers. So we have Atul Bhaskar moving up in the race into P4. Try to set his sights on Deepak Raj, who is around 20 seconds ahead. So let's see if he has the pace to do that. So Connect, I think you have your own race. Anything else that we have missed? What do you think? I think I just noticed that ABD is fallen to P18. So after that incident, I think he came back to the pits to fix his car, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have had big incidents, with broken wheels and just drove their way into the pit lane and are coming out now. I think ABD
Yep,
is
I
one of
think
them who is fallen a
yep.
lot behind. Yeah,
Might
he's
be a
close
lap
to
behind
getting lapped.
soon.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
might get lapped soon. Let's see. He might create a world record of getting lapped as fast as possible. Let's see.
I think one driver who's been very disappointing and at least should be disappointed himself is Moto. I think he has left the lobby. So no fight back from
Yeah.
him, folks, after that incident in the first lap. So North region definitely are going to be missing out on crucial points. The
Yeah,
only
yeah.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when he asked me for a set of 5 minutes before the race, I thought it's something bad going to happen with him. So yeah.
Anyways, I think the only people from North I think I know now are Yuk Sharma, if I'm not wrong. I'm not sure if others who are here participating. I think West we have Nehil has parked up and he has RTG. So that's another driver from East region going to be suffering point drop. From North, I think we have, I'm not sure if it's Yuk Sharma only who's taking part today, because I think there are two
Looks
blue
like
liveries.
it's only
Yeah.
Yuk Sharma that is alive.
Yeah, because we have a couple of people from West. I know of. So we have Robin, who is from the West region. We have, I'm not sure. There's one more definitely I remember seeing with that livery. We have Azim Banatwala also from the West. So
I think we have a lot from the West. We have Mist and Patel,
oh yes,
Banat,
yes.
Robin.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if the point system. If you need, I think you need to be in the top 10 to get points. So even if they are taking part, that does not mean that they're going to be getting points. They can definitely be losing points, as Vanmali shows with a SC330. If there are incidents again, if they cause incidents, there is a chance that they can lose points for their region as well. So let's see how that works out. Gap up front, I think it's still around a second, if I'm not wrong. I'm not sure. Is Yuk Sharma, is he overtaking someone? Or is it James Robin who has overtaken him? So let's see how that looks. We're seeing the replay of Moto. Sorry, folks. I think kind of moved on to the stream. Moto, had an incident there on its own accord. No unforced error. Went too wide into the corner, tried to slow it down, and that's quite late, folks. Yep, there you go. Broken rear suspension. Could not take the car back to the pits, and that's curtains for Moto.
Yeah, I mean the track is just proving why it's definitely the one of the most challenging tracks. It's just one mistake that it takes. And right now, something that we have missed is the time multiplier taking effect, and we already see it's 10 p.m. and the sun has gone down, and the track temperatures definitely must have changed. And yeah, drivers will have to adapt to the conditions. So I believe the tire temperatures will be dropping as well, if I'm not wrong, in these conditions.
Yeah, sure. The temperatures and crucially the pressures for this game will be dropping and throwing them out of the window completely. The entire section Nords layout is going to be far more difficult for DJs now.
I think they don't need to pit, so it's going to be difficult because they would have to do away with the pressures that they have set at the start of the race where the track was toasty, maybe 30 degrees. So, yeah, I mean, they have to just go through this phase. This might drop down to like 26 psi, and they might not get the grip in the high-speed corners due to that low psi. So, yeah, they need to just make sure that they survive. Yuk Sharma just about behind James Robin. They're doing a 9-minute 6 or 9-minute laps. I'm sure the leaders are doing around an 8-minute and 8.5. So it's going to be close. Deepak Raj, how far is he? Is he close or has he? No, he's 5 seconds behind. So not too far. He's still within the grasp of any incident that happens between the top two. Top two in itself still within a couple of seconds. So that's good. At least for the end of the race, that if any one of them had a lapse of judgment, lapse of concentration, definitely they would be able to capitalize. Atul Bhaskar still 20 bit 20 and a bit seconds behind, so he's not catching up as quick as he would want. Shikan Das, or I'm not sure, I'm sorry, but I'm messing up his name, apologies. Yeah, Shinjay Das, he's 5 seconds behind Atul, so that I think he's still facing the damage, the issues of the cause of the damage that they have. We have people, so now we'll see, since it's night, we'll see which drivers have the most damage, as Faizan gives us a good idea of how to take that, not to take that corner. So that's good. A lot of drivers who have huge amount of damage, like Vivek Sharma, their headlights would be blinking. So you'll be able to see that they will have definitely a bit of front end damage, or a lot of front end damage. So that's going to be giving them a lot of, you can say, issues with stability, issues with high speed grip. So let's see how it pans out. Do we see another yellow flag? Yes, I think it's just ahead. No, it's behind. So yeah, it's quite far behind. So someone has probably parked up, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, I'm not sure. No problem. They might be in the pits. I think it might be in the pits. We have car 13 showing a yellow flag. Is that Propi? Is that the top two? No, I think it's Dan Roche, if I'm not wrong. No. There's someone stopped at the second last corner before the dot in the straight. So there might be some issues there, as I think they've got going. That's Dan Roche, yep, having an incident of its own, but at least keeps it going. Yep, so what else to talk about? I think the race is quite balanced as of now. Still seeing a yellow flag, but that's probably due to a yellow flag in the pits, folks.
Yeah, I mean, as we see, a lot of points for these guys, like regions like East and Southeast. But now, again, the thing is, even if they get good points, the position changes are still out of grasp for East, at least considering how far they are down. Definitely not top two, but maybe they can try to jump southwest and get a bit more closer, and maybe end up overtaking southeast, which is almost 45-50 points ahead. It's gonna be tricky, but definitely if they can get the points, they can maybe get 3. But definitely first and second out of second.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. It seems to be a disconnect because we seem to have lost Deepak Raj, or he has had an incident. Can we go to the replay? I think he might have had an incident, or he has come to the pits for some reason. So let's check that out in a bit. Yeah, it's quite, I mean, again, as mentioned, it's very difficult. 7 laps you have to have. You have to have good about us. Oh my god. Okay, folks, that's definitely a very bad incident going after the front straight. So I think he might have had a suspension damage, very bad suspension damage. Yup, undrivable situation. Had to RTG. So points for South is gone, and Tanish, as you mentioned, points for East. More points for East.
Yeah. I mean, East is definitely gonna keep it aggravating. South is gonna make up like this. You cannot. The fight is still on. You cannot take it lightly. You had to make this point. Probably I would expect the driver either RTC or drive to the pit, prepare the car, and try to finish the race so that whatever points you have. And yep, that is what happened.
I mean, he's trying his best. I mean, you have to give kudos to him for trying to get back to the pits and not lose that 2.5 minutes of tow, which is around 1/3 of a lap here, or 1/4 of a lap here. So that's good. But then subsequently, he has lost a lot of time going back to the pits as well. So do you wanna? It's about. Never mind. Okay. Just say that he had to do it at that time. So Deepak Raj at the end had to RTG. So Estas P4, Atul Bhaskar P3. After that, I mean, everyone making a little bit of mistake when we go on board to them. So Kapil, let's not try to go on board drivers as much as possible, but we still have a battle for lead. I think Lightning McKing has closed the gap to 1.4 seconds, 1.5. He should be getting a bit of slipstream going into the final sector, so that should help him a little bit. That McLaren is known to be really slow on the straight, so hopefully Lightning McKing would have some room, as James Robin and Yuk Sharma literally glued to each other on the same piece of tarmac, doing exactly what each other, what James Robin is seeing simply doing, as simply just goes a little bit more wide. I mean, they're just making a hash of those corners there. So
Yeah.
simply still doing okay. He's still not moving as he comes really badly onto the line of James Robin, and he's stopped on track. And RTGs, that's definitely a report coming up, and probably lost championship points for this region of North, so that's not good.
That was very
I think it clearly shows that none of them did any practice at the night, because I think they were completely lost and had no idea where they were on track in that
Yeah,
moment.
absolutely. I mean, in a day itself, this track is quite challenging. I mean, at night, you just need to have the instincts. You need to know this track by the back of your head to even attempt to make a, go around this circuit. So simply getting caught out by not
Yeah.
practicing as much.
It was
As-
quite funny. I think simply just confused the two corners. He broke in the flat out section, and then he didn't break in the actual corner. So yeah,
Quite easy to do.
Like a big,
Quite easy to do. Quite easy to do.
That was
Yeah.
very Vettel Hamilton-like incident that happened in Canada 2019. Vettel losing the car, going on the grass, and just coming directly on the middle of the track. So something similar happened, just that simply had much less control after crashing, and
That's where it started. Okay.
that's where Yuk Sharma went in front and it all started. That is correct.
Again, as I said, monkey see, monkey do there, because James Robin had an incident, Yuk Sharma had an incident going into the carousel, and then Yuk Sharma finished him off. So that's the end of at least one race for North region, one driver from North. I mean, people are, again, as Kanak had mentioned, practice is the key here, and it looks like drivers are finding a lot of first times going through this corner, going through the circuit. So let's see who else. I mean, we have been watching this replay for quite a while. Hopefully no other incidents that we are missing. But yeah, simply making a meal of his opportunity to score some points for North. And it looks like, at least for now, North region is going to fall even more behind West today.
And that just also shows one of the things with chasing a driver in front. You just get too locked in that whatever line that the guy in front takes, you sometimes end up taking the exact same line. And that is what happened with James Robin. He again tapped the wall like Yuk Sharma did, and got a bit more damage on his car. So that
Yep.
was-
So we have lost Deepak Raj from the leading group. We have lost S Das from the leading group as well. He is into the pits. I think he would have also done an RTG or gone back to the pits to fix his car. So that's points lost for East as well. I think Mohammad Faizan is currently in P5, doing wonders for Southwest, sorry. So if he finishes like that, Southwest would get good points. Alongside Lightning McKing, who is going to be raising the flag for Southeast. Atul Bhaskar again, Southwest, so they are also doing good. Dipanshu again doing the best right now, 0.3 seconds ahead of Lightning McKing. It looks like they're going to be some sort of aggressive overtaking maneuver sent by Lightning McKing. Hopefully nothing in the middle sector, because that's quite close. But yeah, battle for the lead. Kanak, Tanish, something we wanted to see today.
Yeah, I think it's gonna get really interesting, because Dipanshu is catching up to ABD and another left car. So I think he will catch two left cars, maybe in the roller coaster section. I think he hopes he does it before that, because it's going to be very difficult for Dipanshu to safely get by.
Another thing, you mentioned ABD, right? ABD is also Southeast, but I think he lets him go. So no mind games, no games played by Southeast region there. Yeah, so it's direct straight battle for the lead between these two folks.
And I believe we have another rule where we are not asking the flag car to move out of the way. It's just that they have to drive in their lines and do not defend. Because if that's the case, then there might be some mind games going. And because the track is very narrow, it's not going to be as easy to get past until you have a very big pace difference.
Yeah, I mean, they did have the opportunity to play some mind games, but yeah, I mean, good sportsmanship from them at least on that end. So let's see who. I mean, Lightning McKing has to find another means to get past the Pancho, who is driving a stellar race, as we see Esdas from East Region coming back out in P7 behind James Robin, who is currently in literally no man's land. 16 seconds behind Faizan and 5 seconds ahead of the stars. We have Yuk Sharma. I'm not sure if Swagger Turbo is in P10. He is. So Swagger Turbo from the pits, still in P10, so that's good for him. He started, I think, starting the race from the pits, kept it clean until now. So it looks like, again, as I mentioned, keeping it clean might get you into points today.
Yeah, that's basically what we were discussing at the start. It's more of survival than going very fast on this track. And it's already 3:30 a.m. Maybe in a couple of minutes we will see the sun rise with temperatures again increasing. Right now they have dropped to 20 degrees, so it is much less. The grip will not be there if the tire pressures are not right. But yeah, once the sun starts to rise, they might start to get that grip back again, ignoring the fact that the tires will be fading fast.
Yep. So Kanak, I think you would know sunrise is the worst timing of this game, right? The sun literally just piercing through your visor. Difficult to go through the corners with that sun literally, in your eyesight.
Yeah, the sunrise is going to be very difficult for them. But luckily, the time multiplier is very high, so it won't be for a very long time. So I think for a lot of drivers, if they're lucky, they might be facing the other way. So let's see how it affects them.
Yeah, it might be sunrise for only half a lap here. Who knows? So we'll see how it looks like. They might not reach the region as we see another yellow flag. Is that Dan Roche or is that someone else? I see number 37. So it might be someone else having an incident. 1, 2, 3. So that's N Patil. So that's Jai Kumar Patil, I think, having an incident of his own as we are focusing our battle or focusing our fight onto the top two, still well with close to each other. I mean, hats off to these two, right? For the last 4-5 laps, they have been just within 2 seconds, not making a mistake yet. Fingers crossed, not going to be making a mistake ever throughout this entire remainder of the race. But yeah, these two have been in league of its own. Atul Bhaskar 45 seconds behind. No catching these two as of now, and hopefully they give us a good show for the top or the winner of the race.
Yeah, it seems like both these drivers are locked in and just pushing lap by lap and keeping each other on their toes.
Yeah, I think McQueen is really, really good at this track because, as you can see, even in the night, he is driving with absolute precision to the edge of the track and hitting every single apex and trying to push the Dipanshu to his limits.
Yeah, that is definitely an amazing thing to watch considering the incidents that we saw on the track.
He might be close this lap, 0.3. Yep, he is. That's definitely slipstream. Yep.
It's almost a 2-kilometer long straight. I think but might have a good opportunity. Doesn't seem like it. It's not gaining as much.
Yeah, it might be difficult actually because when we did the 24 hours with Dipanshu actually made a really fast setup for the straight line, so might be difficult, but I think the slipstream is just about to work.
Yeah, it's going to be close. It's going to be really close. He has to poke his nose. I'm not sure if he'll be able to know. He backs out. Very, very sensible move. Very sensible move from Lightning McKing. Trying to live to fight another day. Just going a little bit wide. Won't get a good exit, and Dipanshu gets a better exit at the end of the day. And currently is ahead. And your race leader, folks, Dipanshu, as we have 26 minutes left on the clock. Probably 4 more laps, if I'm not wrong. If my math is correct. So 3 or 4 more laps on the circuit. We will be ending in the daytime or in the afternoon time. So right now, still transition to the time of the day still remaining.
Yeah, an interesting part is Atul, Bhaskar, and Faizan, if they finish like this, might get good points for the Southwest region as well. So they're doing decent. I mean, not very like Atul is not very close to the top two, but definitely gonna get good points considering what happened to him at the race start. And yeah, right now it's 5 a.m. The sun will rise in some time, as SD mentioned. Lightning Bucking has dropped a bit to Dipanshu. Probably the exit through that final chicane, that overspeed, just made him, not get that perfect exit that he wanted as a few kph extra going through that straight. But right now, Azim Baratwala has made good positions as well. Like he was a bit down on the grid at the race start, and while keeping it consistent, keeping it on track, he is now in top 10.
Yeah, again. Yeah. Disappointing show of performance from the North region. We were looking to gain some points on the West, given that we had good drivers taking part, but looks like instead of losing or gaining inroads into the West region, they're going to be losing more points. So disappointing show, as I mentioned. They have the LMU race where I'm sure a lot better performances will be expected by the drivers of the North, but hopefully going into the last 2 weekends or last race of Regions Cup tomorrow, this should be at least have a very minimum chance of getting the P1 position for the region. But let's see how it goes after the points are awarded, as we are currently still on board. Lightning McKing 1.4 seconds behind now. These two are, I mean, neck and toe throughout the entire race duration. And let's see how it looks like as Lightning McKing moves a little bit on the braking, but again, no one around him, so it doesn't matter. Who else around the track that we can look at? Atul Bhaskar 51 seconds behind. No one else close, even as Ezda somehow made a return into P5, so that's good points for East again. Again, as we mentioned, back and forth Formula 1 style racing, as Lightning McKing makes some first mistake that we see, goes through the entire chicane, cuts through the entire chicane, would definitely get a warning or a track cut for that. ACC, you have 3 track cuts that you can do, so probably will be one of those, but loses crucial amount of time to Dipanshu. Dipanshu would be breathing a sigh of relief at least for some duration of this race.
Yeah, he was doing good until maybe you can say put a commentator's curse on him while appreciating how good he was driving. And right now he has lost almost 3 seconds to Dipanshu, and probably will have to claw back that time and see if he can get closer and maybe make a move in the final few minutes of this race.
Did
Yes, I mean it's like the field is spread quite a lot. Apart from the top two, everyone is just doing a race of their own and just hoping that someone in front either drives too slow or makes a mistake, so that the opportunity can be used and a position can be gained.
Yeah, I mean we have 919 drivers, so definitely that field was supposed to be spread. If we had like around 40-50, then it would have been much closer racing. But no problem. I think still we had seen good fair share of close racing, I would say. I mean, a lot of incidents, as we see Yug Sharma giving us another example of how not to take the track, as we see so much damage back into the pits. That wheel is facing a different direction of its own, so might have had suspension damage there. And yeah, I mean, we've had a lot through this race, a lot of drama, a lot of mistakes, unfortunately, and a battle for the lead.
Yeah, that is one thing to put. The battle for the lead was definitely something different from all the drama that we had on track. But right now, again, Dipanshu has some time to relax until Lightning McQueen decides to go a bit more fast and catch up to him. But right now, Deepak Raj, who was running good in P3 in the initial stages of the race, got damaged and on the Deepak corner itself, and now is trying to gain his gain places back in this race right now, sitting in P12. Not sure if he can get top 10 by the end, but I think if he can get top 10, then I think it's good for him. It's good for the team as well.
It's a very, very hard hit from Simply. Again, that's because he's not practiced enough. That's because he doesn't know that corner is quite sharp, as it tightens up on the exit. So mistake from him, lack of knowledge, I would say, lack of practice on this track. But again, their drivers have the option to get back to the pits, as we see Dan Roche not having a time of his life going over the track. At least he's going, so I mean, kudos to him. We have Lightning McQueen reducing the gap to 2.6. It was 3.5, so that's quite good. Atul Bhaskar, P3, far away, in complete no man's land, but at least he keeps on going. He tried to get the points for Southwest, tried to close the gap to the Southeast region, who are going to suffer as well. And IHUC, if could, yep, definitely. I think East are getting very, very good points from this race. As we see number 17, or is it 207? Not sure about that. Again, having an incident, so not sure who that is. But he's going to make a meal out of the situation. As we see Azim Banatwala not going through that corner, making a meal of it, but still keeps going without damage. Leaders looks to be really close again. Let's see where it is. Yep, 2 seconds. So, okay. So, Lightning McQueen closing it out. We still have a couple of laps to go after this. So, we'll have, I'll say, 3 more laps, including the next one. So, 4 including this one. So, let's see how that goes. Lightning McQueen tried to close the gap. I think Lightning McQueen Kanak definitely has the pace over the Dipanshu. It's just that once he catches to him, does he have the outright pace or outright skill to make a move, right? So that is where we'll see what happens in the last 3 laps.
Yeah,
So,
Dipanshu.
I would just like to add, I think Deepak is about to get lapped by Dipanshu, and he is not letting him go very easily. So,
Yep.
assuming that Lightning McQueen and Deepak are in the same region, I think we
They
can
are,
have
they
some
are.
team strategy there. We can have some strategy there.
They are. He's not entitled to give way just like that, right? Just move out of the way completely. So it's onus on Dipanshu to make a move safely and correctly, as Deepak
No, Deepak.
makes a meal of it, and there you go. Not even going to be contesting that. So yeah, that doesn't work out for Southeast. But at least if you consider that Deepak is not lapped, they are 2-3.
Yeah, I mean, that was again, Deepak tried to play mind games hopefully, but braked very late at the first corner while maybe looking at the map, just seeing how far the Dipanshu is, and ended up, losing that position to getting passed by that car, the leading car. So, yeah, didn't help much, but right now he's moving out of the way for Lightning McQueen. Doesn't
Not
feel
yet.
like it right now.
Not yet.
Yeah, and he goes almost very close to the gravel on the right, moves out of the way. That was expected, that is good. And yeah, looking back on the chase again. I mean, Dipanshu is good in terms of handling the pressure while someone is chasing him. We have seen in the past, like, the Dipanshu is a fast driver, and even if you need to be very, very fast to make a move on this track, especially, and then if you have Dipanshu in front, it's not going to be easy. So maybe McQueen can close in the gap, but until Dipanshu makes a mistake, it's going to be, I think, tricky.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to catch up and one thing to overtake, right? Other thing to overtake. So going to the Shavin Smith's curve onto the fast right left. Lightning McLean does have the pace, as you said. Dipanshu has the grit, has the consistency as of now. Hopefully, no commentators curse, and we'll see that battle in a couple of laps' time. We have drivers who have been having a really wretched time. Dan Roche is one of them, but at least he's keep going. They have N. Patil who is at least trying to get some points, but not sure if he will. But we have drivers like Ihag and Estas who are literally carrying East Region right now alongside Dipanshu to get very, very valuable points for them and make, move them from P3 maybe to P5 to P3, the championship, as we see Mohammad Faizan making a move on a lapped Vanmali. That's Fury. I don't think Vanmali is going to put any fight, so there we go. So Faizan just gets himself on laps Vanmali there. We have James Robin or W Robin, who is 20 seconds behind Faizan, so no movement there unless we have a mistake from Snehal. Okay, yes, we do have a mistake from Snehal as we go careering into that arm core barrier, and yeah, that's suspension damage right there. Yes, absolutely. But he's still going. Yes.
I believe it's better to complete the lap as he's very close to the ending stages of the lap. He might.
Yeah, but he's doing non-moving right there. So I don't think his car turns right anymore. So, yep, there you go. So I don't think his car turned right anymore. This is very dangerous what he's doing. I think the most sensible position is to just park it up and then RTG, because it's very dangerous. One bad move and the barrier might just put him back into the racing line. I think finally he decides to stop it, hopefully. Not
I think he's gonna give it a try, yeah, but I think he's forgetting that the pit entry is on the right.
Is on the right side, yes, correct, absolutely.
So I think he will have to finish the race like this only.
For pit entry, he needs to take that turn as well. I mean, I'm not sure if he can ball right there.
I don't think we want to see a car lawn moving for that long, so let's move on. We have Swagger Turbo P9. I mean, to be honest, I would say Swagger Turbo has given a good race. Not seen any incident from him. And he started from the pit lane, unfortunately, but still ahead of Mist. Good, getting some points for Southeast region. Swagger Turbo. Dipanshu 1.7, so that's close now. 13 minutes on the clock. What do you think, folks? Does Dipanshu have it? Or will Lightning McLean ruin the party for Dipanshu?
Yeah, I think Dipanshu is quite a bit ahead of them. Considering that they're both on very similar pace. I think he's going to pull away, or at least keep the status quo, because I think the main advantage of Lightning McLean is that he had a really good pace in the night as well. But now that it's daytime, I don't think the gap's going to reduce by a significant margin.
You say that, Kanak, but the gap was 3.5 after that mistake, so I think he has the pace to close it down. Not sure he has the pace to make a move, so that's another thing, right? So, most likely it's going to be Linus' turn between the two. Dipanshu edging his way into the lead, into the P1, into the finishing first. Atul Bhaskar 60 seconds behind, so yeah, not closing in at all, rather losing a lot of time. So P3 probably most likely secured, as P4 driver is another minute behind Atul Bhaskar. So yeah, close racing there, folks.
Yep, and the track temperatures have gone up to 33 degrees from 20 degrees, so quite a good change in the track conditions. I'm not sure how the drivers would be,
we have certain yellow flags. Sorry, Tanish. 14 and 5 are currently being pointed as yellow flags, so not sure. Can we go on board Snail?
Yeah,
I think has he already made...
James Robin, it was the last surviving best region driver, I think.
No. Oh no, folks. Oh my god. I'm sorry, folks.
Following turn left to turn right. Oh no, too much left. I think we'll have to turn left one more time. I mean, that's actually smart. I did not think about that, but
they did it. Folks, we have done it.
Oh no.
Snail has done it. That's really good driving from him, although it's quite dangerous. But he gets back to the pits. The towing would have been faster up, but till now I think so. So tow, he would have gotten quicker once he had towed the track, towed the car.
Also, the pit box will again be on the right, so he'll have to do the same thing all over again.
Thank you, Snail, for giving us some good banter. But folks, this is not what you have to do. Don't take it as a instruction or guideline how to. So,
The stewards will definitely have an interesting time to look at this and see how dangerous it was for the other drivers and what penalty to offer for this.
congratulations, Rail. You have done it. He hasn't. Okay, never mind. Not yet.
I think
Little
the
bit
mechanics
more
are telling
saga
him to
left.
put it better.
Folks, let's go on board Lightning Working again. 1.5, 1.6. I think. Yeah. So officially, we'll have two more laps. Once the poncho goes over the line, 8.5 or 9 minutes. Oh, okay, maybe it might be close. Sorry, it might be close, right? Not sure, but yeah. So 2 laps, assuming. Going into the race. Yeah. So let's see. 2 opportunities for Lightning McQueen to close. Let's see if any changes happen from now until the end of the race.
It's now for Lightning to push to the limit while keeping on track and see if we can put that extra pressure on the punch and maybe force a mistake in these final few minutes from it. But right now, all
We've lost one more driver. Sorry, we've lost 4 drivers, Tanish. Sorry to cut you off. Lost 4 drivers. I think one was Moto. No one sees Simply, or we don't see Yuk Sharma. So Yuk Sharma is also off. There are a couple more. I'm not correctly remembering, but yeah, folks, 4 drivers have dropped out from this race. 4 drivers have left from the region. So let's see how it works out.
it seems like East is definitely trying to gain as much as they can from this race. Everyone is trying to make sure they complete the race and get good points. I believe they are just trying to get that P3 at least by the end.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of on-track
Please press the HUD.
today.
Please press the HUD. I will know which drivers have dropped out.
Right now, we have 8 minutes left. It's Dipanshu who leads from Lightning McKing, followed by Atul Bhaskar, who is quite a bit far behind, so definitely not in contention for top 2 until any mistake happens. But Dipanshu right now going through that section, the final chicane of the Nürburgring GP layout, then entering the notch line.
Close racing, folks, for the lead. Though what happens soon is we are closing out on the era of ACC here at IRC. I would say we expected more drivers, but that's okay. This game has dropped off a lot, and who knows themselves have, they take the call to move on to AC Evo. So that's something we are going to be hopefully looking at in future once the game is matured enough for us to consider. But it's poetic that we have the Pancho who has been very, very active in ACC, his whole, let's say, journey here in IRC. Hopefully rounding it off, and some quick drivers coming through like McKing, who was started as a AM, if I remember correctly, moving on to silver during our regions. So he has also been showing that, okay, at the end of the game cycle, he is definitely, capable enough to run with the pros like Dipanshu. So that's quite good. Good to see. Very good to see. We've been missing certain drivers who have not taken part. Let's just quickly go through since we are closing out this race. With Davlish Singh, who was very, very lightning quick on this game. Unfortunately, I think his love for the game also went away. So we don't have him currently taking part at one of the finale races of IRC for ACC. So that's different. We have not so Masoom. We had Amit. We had Shiv Kiran. we had Sai Prithvi, we had so many other drivers insanely quick on this game. I mean, one of the seasons, we had like around 6-7 seasons on this game where we had close battle, but Davli Singh has been, of course, at the end always come out on top. So kudos to him. They've had a LAN event on ACC in partnership with esports.in. So that's also a very good thing to remember. So yeah, Tanish, as we have the final 5.5 minutes of this race left, what have been your thoughts of this ACC journey, ACC era of IRC?
Well, that's definitely one of the most amazing journeys of IRC, I would say. ACC was the game which actually transitioned everyone from F1 to proper sim racing with multiple titles involved, like whether it's Assetto Corsa Competizione, it's Assetto Corsa, it's Le Mans Ultimate, any game. It was the ACC which started this in IRC, and yeah, today it's gonna be the end of this journey. Definitely something that gave a good, I would say, popularity to IRC as well. Got good drivers to IRC. This game is definitely is gonna be missed.
Yeah. What about you, Kanak? I think we did see you first racing here, if I'm not wrong. ACC. I'm not sure. Do correct me if I'm wrong. ACC was your first event here, right? So
ACC was the first ever sim racing game.
yeah.
Hopped on once I got the wheel.
I think. What about your journey here in IRC? How was ACC treated you? Until I guess LMU came over.
Yeah, I think last season I've been mainly driving ACC. It's been a very good game. It has a great physics engine. It has become out of date today, but when it was at its peak, it was really, really good. And yeah, compared to the other offerings, it has always been one of the good value for money, and it allows, I think, newer drivers. I think still a lot of new drivers still buy ACC because of its lower barrier to entry, and it's just a great game to get started on.
Yep, absolutely. I think as a game, it has been quite balanced. I mean, for me also, it was the first, say, it's a quote-unquote sim racing game I have played on the wheel. I mean, I've been playing F1 for the last 7 to 8 years, starting out with a controller, then moving on to a wheel. But ACC was my first actual sim racing game. I mean, it was quite challenging. I've had good races around here. We've had good races in other leagues, other events as well, multi-class events, driver swaps. I mean, it's been the plethora of every single form of racing you can think about in terms of GT3 cars or closed wheelers. It has been there or thereabout experience-wise for me in ACC, so that's been really, really good. And yeah, moving forward, hopefully we might have the same in AC Evo, or especially in LMU with that game also, expanding its offering to even multi-class and driver swaps. So hopefully we'll have much more things to give. But moving on from that conversation, let's move on to final 2.5 minutes. Lightning McKing has closed all the gap back to Dipanshu. 0.5, if I'm not wrong, or 0.3 of a second. He is close enough to make a move on the Dottinger straight. Will he be successful this time? Let's see. He needs to be close enough. He needs to be just about behind, as Dipanshu has been made to move just away from his ride, or of his ideal racing line. Lightning McKing is trying to place his car to get the best exit out of the corners, as on the carousel. Ropey goes a little bit wide, carries a good amount of speed, gives him a bit of an advantage. Couple of tenths. He takes a good amount of speed in the first right-hander, second right-hander. I'm not sure what happens here. So apologies, folks, for the camera. As we have, I think, 0.4 seconds. Should not be close enough, as we saw from the last instance. Looks like Ropey has done well enough, but again, we do have another lap. So, folks, this might be all over again. We might see this all over again at the next corner. But 0.4, 0.3 tenths of a second, not gaining at all, as Kanak said, right? Pancho is running a very good straight line speed setup, so that's about good. And we are going to do final couple of corners before we start the final lap. Ropey has made a meal of that corner, Hopefully does not do that at the last straight or the last time of coming by this corner as 1 minute on the clock. No more pro player or Dipanshu starting the final lap of this race, this journey in ACC as a community. As we go on board Pro P, there is Mist ahead of him. Let's hope there is no more drama between the back markers between the two. So let's see how that works out. Mist still ahead. No, Mist just lets him go. Will he let Lightning McKing go? Not sure about it behind, but let's see. As Mist, I'm not sure who that is. That was Mist making. Had to make a move. I'm not sure if that was wise enough. As Tanish, take it away for at least half a lap, and Kanak maybe you can chip in as well.
Yeah, and as the drivers have started their final lap for this journey, like you mentioned, currently on the GP layout, with Lightning McKing closing ever so slightly lap by lap. He's right now less than a second behind. Just wants to get as close as he can before he tries to make a move, and I'm not sure if it's gonna go to the Dottinger straight again, or will Lightning McKing be able to get a move done early. But yeah, the pressure is on both the drivers. Dipanshu will be trying his best to finish this ACC journey with a win, with Lightning McKing trying to make that move on Dipanshu and get that P1. But yeah, right now these guys will be entering the North Lifer section, the uphill left, and yep, Lightning McKing trying to take a cutback line, closing again ever so slightly, less than 5/10 the gap is, going very very close. The downhill right, you have to be very very precise. Slight lift up from Lightning McKing, still very close. This left right section is just a tap on the brake and making sure to let the car just crawl through that particular section of corners and not do a lot of movement on the wheel. And to the Agenberg straight, these guys will go. Again, it's an opportunity, but the straight is not long enough. The uphill, they have to make sure the cars do not fly there. The fast right-hander, the Lightning McKing still very very close. Seems like he got a much better exit than Dipanshu. Not sure if he's gonna get the opportunity to make the move here, but yeah, let's see.
Thanks for that, Kanish. Yep. We have nearly finished 1/3 of the lap. Still have quite a few corners to go, or the total that Kanish mentioned. Quite close. I don't think this might go to Dottinger Dottinger straight. If Lightning McKing would like to make a move even before that, maybe in the back straight before the deeper corner. So let's see how it works out. We are on board Pro P, trying to make the corners, trying to make the track or go through the corners as quickly as possible. We have Lightning McKing praying that he gets a decent run, either the start of the Dottinger straight or at least an incident, or not an incident, but let's say a mistake from Pro P and try to capitalize on it. So let's see. Dipanshu still keeping it clean, keeping it on the tarmac, not making any mistake as of now. Not giving any opportunity for Lightning McKing to make a move. Going through the middle sector, we have the miss hit, sorry, going into the middle sector as I mentioned. So he has missed all three, no problem. It's the final lap. Panchu going onto the grass, will that give Lightning McKing a little bit of an advantage? Yes, he will, but then Lightning McKing goes wide himself and it cancels out. So these two have been really neck and neck with all the mistakes, with all the pace throughout the entire race. We have them going on to the section where it's a little bit uphill. We have forest all around them. Traction here is very important. You just get loose even with the traction zone, with the traction control on. We have them going on through the middle sector, trying to make a move. No, still quite far away, 0.5, 0.4 tenths of a second. Lightning McKing gets a better exit, but as we know, the McLaren ahead is quite fast on the straight. So let's see if any half move, any move being thrown by Lightning McKing on Dipanshu. Doesn't look like it. Line stirred going into Deepak corner, or a beloved Deepak corner that we call it. Coming forward, we have a quick left-hander, little dab on the brakes, trying to keep the throttle pinned in. Dipanshu goes very wide, very, very close to kissing that barrier on the right. He goes wide here as well. Okay, this might give him a little bit of a mental advantage to Lightning McKing, who sends it. He breaks very, very late compared to Propi. Reduces the gap to quite a lot. Will both of them take the carousel? Looks like it, as Lightning McKing nearly runs into the rear of Propi or Dipanshu and loses huge amount of time, around half a second, and again he needs to wait for the Dottinger now. There's no passing happening before that.
Yeah, I think Lightning McKing is really very aggressive there. He's not being patient when he's gotten close. He's just braking at his normal points and then catching himself off guard. So I think for the next roller coaster section, he has to make sure he goes with the cap and wait for the straight to overtake.
Indeed, absolutely good observation there, Kanak. Going through this corner, going through this set of corners, I think Lightning McKing is quicker. Looks like it. You can see that on the braking zones, he's gaining at least a tenth or two per braking zone. So definitely he has the pace. But then again, making a move on our race leader, who has been leading from start to finish, is quite difficult. He's been pacing the car in the right places whenever required. No move, no way to make a move there. As we see again, Lightning McKing very close. Should be patient enough not to throw any defensive move here, as he just about again breaks later than Propi, breaks later than Dipanshu, but then nearly hits him at the rear. We have the compression going down the corners again, 0.2 of a second going through the S's, going through the right and left before we go to the final carousel. Final lap, folks. It is all or nothing going into the Dottinger. Dipanshu having a little bit of a tank slapper, as Lightning McKing again very, very close to Dipanshu. Making nearly missing his rear, again losing out a couple of tenths as they go on to the final two corners before the Dottinger. Propi gets a very good line again. Second right before we go to the Dottinger straight. Propi 0.5, 0.4. Yep, 0.4. It's hovering in the half a second, but will he have the overspeed? Doesn't look like it. Kanak, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen, because last time also it was 0.4 seconds and he didn't really catch him. So
he is gaining. I'm not going to say he's not gaining. It's the camera, I'm not sure, but 0.4, 0.3.
Yeah.
It
Normally
will be
by
very
this point
close.
you would have already passed the guy if you really
Yeah.
wanted to move, but it's too late now.
Yep, so here we go, folks. Just about going through the final set of corners. Propi just has to keep his car within the track limits. He does so for the first turn, does so for the last corner, as rounding out the 1 hour around Nordschleife, we have Dipanshu finishing P1 and Lightning McKing very, very close for the Southeast region, finishing in P2. What a race, folks, for at least the battle for the lead. And we have that final finale of ACC won by none other than our admin, Dipanshu. Battle for P3, we have, I think there's no battle as such, but we have Atul Bhaskar 60 plus seconds behind. He's just about, going through the final set of corners, so it's going to take a lot of time. But yeah, Tanish, thoughts about your race? I think it's going to be quite a while since Atul Bhaskar finished the race.
Yeah, it's quite a while, but definitely it was a very, very interesting race, seeing Dipanshu and Lightning McKing just going all in from the start to the end. And we have a car just driving with the broken suspension of Dan Roche. Yep, that it's gonna be tricky for him to
Turn left to go right, isn't it?
Yeah, that's definitely the case. Turn left to go right. But kudos to him for trying to complete the race with that damage.
Oof. Okay, everyone is having suspension damage. I think whoever we are going on board. So let's see if anyone makes a mistake. We have Azim Balatwala losing out to Swagger Turbo on the final lap. I think that's going to be very disappointing for the West region. We have Robin, who is again a lap down, so don't have anything to do here. Let's see if Atul Bhaskar has finished the race. I think so. Not sure yet. But we have missed finishing. Again, people are lapped, so we have quite a good amount of drivers finishing as Atul Bhaskar comes to the final set of corners. Got turned around on the race start, and still finishing P3 would be good for him, as from the southwest region we have Atul Bhaskar with that meme of a livery finishing P3 for Southwest, and rounding out and I think third and fourth. Oh no, sorry, this will be fourth and fifth. We'll have S Das and IHUC finishing for the East region, so that's going to be really, really good. Again, don't take this standings for this provisional. I think Lightning McQueen has left the lobby. That's why you see Atul Bhaskar as P2. But we do have Atul Bhaskar finishing P3. We have S Das, who has driven, a good recovery drive from him, finishing P4, sorry, ahead of IHUC somehow. So that's good from him. And both of them, again, for the East region, bringing home the good amount of points. And I'm assuming that they're going to be past Southeast, not at least Southwest, in this race. So kudos for them. What about it, Kanak, Tanish? Anything that we have missed? I think that's about it, right?
Well, the only thing that was the most interesting as per racing was the battle between Dipanshu and Light Bucking, from my opinion, and that was captured just perfectly for the stream. It was amazing. These guys, compared to what mistakes others were doing, these guys just went all in. The focus was just next level, and they gave us a good performance. So yeah, kudos to both of them. Obviously, there can be only one winner, but yeah, both did amazing.
Lovely. Lovely. Good racing from everyone, at least for everyone who has taken part and finished the race. As we mentioned, it is a battle of attrition, so finishing the race in itself is a very good feat. But yeah, very, very hearty congratulations to the top three. Again, we have the Panchu from the East region, we have Lightning McKing from the Southeast region, and then I think, if I'm not wrong, Atul Bhaskar from the Southwest. So closing out, we don't have any leading regions in the top three, and no West drivers, no North drivers. So it's going to be interesting, right, Tanish? Moving on to the final race tomorrow, where we have much more points to give away. So let's see where. Yep.
It's quite surprising that both the leading regions, that is West and North, are going to come out with very little points from this race.
Yep, indeed. And yeah, it keeps the battle ongoing. I think West might still have increased their lead comparatively to North, so that's going to be quite challenging for the battle for the lead by the North region folks. So we'll see how that pans out. Again, we have two races to give points on. We'll have the race tomorrow from LMU for the sprint race, and we'll be closing on the AC time attack. So judging by the results that go on, I think it might be a close battle for the lead.
Definitely. And right now we are just seeing the final two drivers finishing the race. Definitely shows the gap between the drivers. Like it's almost over a minute, and easily over a minute, and all the drivers have still not finished the race. So it shows how much the difference was on track in terms of pace or the incidents that the drivers were caught in. But right now it's Aditya Vanwali who finishes the race. Do we still have a few drivers? I'm not really sure. I think we have N Patil, who is still yet to finish. But yeah, we might see some shuffling between East and Southwest, at least in terms of the constructor or the team standings. East got a good amount of points today. I'm not sure if it's gonna be closing a lot to Southeast, but yeah, East and Southwest might shuffle.
Absolutely. I think we'll get to know after the results come out.
Yeah. We are on board Swagger Turbo, who himself did a decent race, didn't get involved in too many incidents, tried to have clean race, and now will be finishing this final race of ACC in IRC. The position again is not correct as they have few drivers leaving the server, but yeah, behind him we have James Robin finishing his race as well in that BMW, beautiful BMW, followed by Azim Banatwala, who
We'll have to wait 60 more seconds for Ryan Patil, who's going to be the final driver finishing race. So yeah, um, what's to talk about, Tanish? Anything else other than our beloved ACC game who's going to be retired, or anything else you want to talk about? I mean, quick recap: we did see a lot of incidents. We saw someone going through the entire last sector, grinding the wall. We saw people, saw drivers, saw the same driver also, spinning around again. Don't take it as a model act, folks. That's definitely something stewards will be looking at. But at least kudos to the effort from the driver. But yeah, we did see a lot of incidents. We did see a lot of people making, I mean, to say rookie moves, but then given that this track is quite easy to make a move even for the pros, judging that without the practice, I think that those incidents are quite easy to make. As we see N Patil rounding out the final corner, last driver to finish the race here today, folks, and that's an end to the hour-long race around ACC.
and the journey of ACC and IRC as well.
Yep, there you go. That's the final finishing order, folks.
The gaps are huge. I mean, it's not even like close between the different dives, just huge.
Yep, but still, the gap to worry about is the top two, which is 0.4. So kudos to the drivers again.
Definitely.
Okay, I think we're about good to go, Tanish. I think we can close out the stream. It's been a good hour and a half of talking, of seeing good challenges. But Tanish, take it away.
Yeah, so with this, we end the ACC journey in IRC. That was a very eventful race and a lot to get from it. And again, I would just like to thank everyone who took part in this race as well as any ACC race that happened in IRC till now. It was a great journey, and going forward, it's time to move to different sim and see what it has to offer. So yeah, that's all from us, folks. Do join us tomorrow for the LMU race that will again try to shuffle the positions between the different regions and might bring more events or more on track action. So that's it, and goodbye.